welcome to yet another edition of the Music Dreams USA Radio Artist Spotlight Show. It's your friend Russell K. Make sure you join us each and every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And our show is being brought to you by Blue Shamrock Music. A special thank you to Mr. Stephen Brady as he supplies our artists each and every week. And this week, we are certainly not going to disappoint. Actually, we were going to do this interview a while back, but with some things going on, so on and so forth, we're able to get our special guest back on the air with us, and we're so delighted to have her. Her name is Sandy Summers, an amazing artist. You're going to love her, and she got some amazing music. We're going to find more about her, her musical career, and she just got married. So, yeah, congratulations to her and her amazing journey. So, without any further ado delay, let's go ahead now and meet our special guest, Miss Sandy. Well, it's now no longer Miss. It's Miss Sandy Summers. How are you today?
Hi, Russell. I'm really good. Thank you so much to Music Dreams USA for having me on the program. And yes, it has been a long time coming. So the excitement has been building, and it's certainly worth the wait to meet you. Thank you. And hello to all the listeners.
Yes. Well, great to have you on our show this evening. And let's kick off our show. Could you kind of like tell our listeners what have you been up to lately?
Oh wow! I'm up to my fourth release, which is available to audiences now, and so I've just been coming off the back of that, and then thinking about my fifth release actually. So I've been lining up some ducks for that. We're getting into shooting a music video for it, and just working out when the launch for that will happen as well. So lots going on and also I do shows around New South Wales too. So I live gig about every 2 weeks. So in Australia, up the middle of New South Wales, I go from Muswellbrook as far as Moree. So that's about 6 hours worth of driving at times. And here I put on my Sandy Summers Summer Storm show, and that's a variety of my own works and also country and pop mix. So the audiences in the venues do actually enjoy it throughout the night. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I actually had the opportunity to check out your playlist, right? And that was absolutely amazing. What a great mix of music you have. I mean, you got some classics, mixed in with your amazing music as well. And so I can see how your crowds really, really enjoy you because you're really playing a good mix of music and you're pretty much catering to everybody.
Thank you. Yes, I guess that comes from my own interests in music and my upbringing. I grew up listening to a variety of music. When my parents would used to play it in the lounge room, I'd dance around, and so I guess I have like a very good mix of music in my soul, and that comes out with likes for everything new and old. And so yeah, I have a lot of influences going on, but yeah, you'll always find there's a favourite in there for the audiences that keeps the night rolling on. And I like to sort of add a few dynamics into it because everyone likes a good time and likes to get up and dance. So yeah, they like to have a lot of fun here, as they do in the USA too.
Absolutely. Well, can you tell our listeners, how did your musical career begin?
Yeah, sure. Well, nothing really happened with my music until later in life, but it has always been on the inside of me, knocking, wanting to get out. So I guess it all started when I was at school, and I played the role of Nancy in a school musical. And my parents weren't really well off, so we actually have a disability in the family, so their attention was turned to that a lot. But I found this love for this role that I played, Nancy in Oliver, and I got a lot of support from the teachers at the time, which kind of made me believe that I might have had some sort of gift that I could give the world, or some liking to be an entertainer. So then from then on, I just really was a car singer and a shower singer, as we all do. But I did really well at music at school. I had some good achievements there. And so it wasn't until later on in life that I took up guitar lessons with my two boys. They were teenagers at the time. And that was a really good bonding session. I have fond memories of that with my boys. But they actually went off into the electric guitars, and I stayed with the acoustic because I just felt like sitting at home, I could pick the guitar up anytime and just feel at ease. And that's when the country music genre, I suppose, fell into my lap. So I was able to actually play the guitar and I was attempting to sing, but I just didn't know whether or not I was any good. So then that took me to singing lessons. So I inquired locally with a lady here in Cessnock. She was an older lady, actually, but with quite a lot of experience behind her. And yes, I went through my first lesson with her, and she turned around from the piano and looked up at me and basically said, "Where have you been all your life, basically, with your music? Because if you'd have started this when you were younger, my gosh, you could be really something." But she's straight from off the bat, she believed in me, and that's what got me going. And I got involved with her choir, and then she took me through some music exams. So one of them was the International Music Examination Board, and then three of them was the Australian Music Examination Board. And I did a course called Singing for Leisure. Anybody can do this and they can enter at certain levels. So I did the top levels and I did quite well. I got credits in those. So that kind of satisfied me that I could actually sing. There was no question or doubt about it in my mind then. And so then the confidence grew in me with performing in the choir, and I started to perform solo. A lot of it was classical work with the piano, which I really enjoyed. I'd love to get back to some of that as well, but with a bit of a country flavour perhaps. But yeah, then I took up an offer to play at the local art gallery, and then I guess you could say the rest is history. I won a few competitions around here, and I actually was part of a duo for a while, so that again was a big confidence builder. And then coming off the back of that, I decided to go solo and just sort of rip the cord and see what happens. So that's a bit of a long story. But thanks for listening.
Oh, no. Thank
My
you for
music
sharing that.
journey. Yeah.
So, as you continue with your musical career, are there any artists that you've worked with that's giving you some really cool advice? If so, who was the artist and what type of advice have they given you?
Oh, wow. I'm just trying to think back. Well, I haven't really worked with anybody in the sense of performing with them, but mainly probably my producer, Simon Johnson, and the musicians in his studio. I think they instilled a belief in me. And just seeing them enjoy my music as well was enough to sort of push me forward and give me a bit more self-belief. So I guess you could say they're the ones that have inspired me. But I certainly do, and I am looking forward to working with our other artists and singing alongside of them. Actually, I work with a man called Justin Landers. He's a local that gets around here, and he's blues shamrock music is familiar with Justin as well. He's just put out a new release, but we're doing a show called Summers and Landers, which I can tell you a little bit more about later on if you like. But it's just sort of like a one-off thing we do every now and again. It's a bit of fun where we just come together. He does his thing, I do mine, and it just works. So yeah, I did actually get to meet a lot of very renowned people just recently with the Tamworth Country Music Festival as well. And there were some award winners up at Tamworth that I met, Andy Penkow, Laura Frank, um, Courtney Keel. I'm just trying to think of everyone's name there. Sandy Facey, you might know Sandy Facey. And again, we all touched bases, and I think that has inspired me even more too, because they're so supportive of other artists too. And I think that's another reason I enjoy music so much too, is making all these connections with people. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. So, as we're talking about your musical career, what are some of the obstacles you feel that you have to overcome? I mean, obviously you're solo, and the money you make is it sounds like you're doing like a lot of solo events right now. And so, what are some of the obstacles that you have to come over?
Okay, yeah. So a lot of the market around here for music does have a bit of a niche, particularly in the Newcastle area, because there are a lot of renowned artists getting around here. So for an independent artist, it is quite a challenge to sort of get in there and mix amongst them. But that's where I find social media quite helpful as well. And obviously the services of Blue Shamrock Music, getting our music out there and getting our name out there. And just as time goes on, people will get to know that I'm available, and they'll hear about my shows and hopefully take me up to have a gig at their venue. But that would be one of the challenges, I guess. Physically as well, it's quite draining on me at times because I work a full-time job through the week, and as you said, I've just been married, so last year preparing a marriage took a lot out of me. So I had all these balls in the air, so to speak, but I didn't really drop any of them. So again, that's a good confidence builder as well. I like organising things, and yeah. So I just like also I like the arts. So I like all this digital kind of media and organising artwork that way, and yeah, so I enjoy that too.
How did you get in contact with our sponsor, Blue Shamrock Music?
Okay, well, here again, that was social media. I was looking at a lot of the artists around here and following their new releases, and often the name Blue Shamrock Music would pop up in the socials. And yeah, so I got in contact with Stephen, and he took me through his packages, what was available, and I told him about what music I had on the go and what I had planned, and we worked out a plan to drip feed them. So that's what I'm doing, is just drip feeding the singles from the EP. And yeah, so yeah, he's been a fantastic help, really professional, and I'd recommend anybody to jump on board with him and give him a try because, yeah, well, it's all happening for me. So I have him to thank for that. Thanks, Stephen.
What is
Yeah.
the best advice? I mean, obviously, as you being an independent artist, what is some of the best advice you can share with another independent artist who's maybe looking to get where you are right now today?
Okay. I think probably that self-belief thing is the main thing, and just pulling off the band-aid and go for it. I did hear a young lady that's another artist. Her name's Katie James. She's from New South Wales as well. And she recently spoke about how she writes a song. And I think this just goes for your the way you apply yourself to anything, really. And she said when she writes a song, she doesn't really think about what anybody else is thinking, how they're going to perceive it, or who it's going to hurt, or what effect it's going to have. She just writes it from the heart. And I think that's the thing. If you've got something inside of you that's really knocking in there, it won't go away. So even if I stopped now, this would still be knocking on the inside of me for some reason. So I just feel like I have to do it. So just follow your heart and believe in yourself is the advice I'd give to others. And also try to make those connections with people. As daunting as that might seem, once you get rolling with it, you'll find how friendly people are in this industry and willing to give help. So I've had some big names say to me, reach out if there's anything you need. I haven't yet because I'm a little bit shy to ask for stuff, but so far, yeah. But it's good to have that there if you need to sort of fall back on advice from somebody. So, yeah.
I love hearing you say about networking because, you know, I've been in the music business a long time as well. And I can honestly tell you from experience that networking, especially in the music business, is absolutely critical. I mean, you're not, if you don't have networking, you're not going to get people listening to your music. It's that simple, quite frankly. And so just to hear you say that, I could not agree with you more. But since we're talking about songs and songwriting, can you maybe share with our audience this evening, what does your songwriting look like?
Okay, well, I probably think my songwriting is quite simple. I feel like my songs are relatable and people can sort of sing along to them. They're not too complicated, not too the lyrics aren't too packed, so they flow on fairly well. But I have not actually had any songwriting workshops, so I don't know what my skills are actually like. They've never been tested, they've never been critiqued, but the feedback from audiences and radio yourself, what have you, it indicates that I'm doing something right. So yeah, this weekend I'm actually going to a songwriting workshop for the very first time. So
Oh, cool.
that's with a lady over here called Lynn Botel. I'm sure you've heard of Lynn, and she's a great support to the music industry, particularly around the Tamworth scene. And so I'm really looking forward to going along. But again, like the normal individual, there's that little bit of trepidation in me that kind of says, am I going to be able to come up with something on the day, or am I going to get writer's block? I really need to tap into that creative side of me. And I'm a little bit worried that I won't have that, I won't find that. But again, it's just about ripping off the Band-Aid and going for it, and just throw yourself in there. There'll be something to learn, something to gain. And I'm all for this cross-pollination as well, just mixing it up and seeing what others are like and just feeling it too and enjoying that. So there'll be lots of good things come out of that for me.
Yeah, I've actually had the opportunity to listen to your music, and I love your music, and I
Oh,
sincerely mean
thanks.
that. You've
Thank
got a
you.
beautiful voice, and I just love the lyrics and just the songs, and as you put them together, I mean, I've had the opportunity to listen to them, as I mentioned, and I'm, we're, here at Music Dreams USA Radio, we're a huge fan of yours for sure.
Oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So, yeah, obviously with my EP, I took the songs. I had no songwriting skills. I took the songs into the producer, and I was a little bit embarrassed because I don't know if my writing is mature enough. But again, he said to me, "These are great." So, and then he worked his magic, and it was just so much fun in that studio.
Can you maybe talk to us about your album? How did it come together? And what methods did you use to put those songs together? And the last part of that question would be, how can our listeners get in contact with you and the music to listen and also to purchase it?
Okay, yeah. So the album is called Summer Storm. I've got it here. It is available in hard copy. So it's got 5 tracks on there, and I actually designed the cover as well. So yeah, it's when I took my songs to the producer, I had a few of them, so I picked out my favorites, but I just wanted to show audiences that I have a bit of variety in what I can do. So I feel like all these 5 songs offer something different. So the first song, Jet Lag, that I released back in July last year, it's got an upbeat, really happy feel to it. It's about a girl who's determined to move on, even though she's coming out of a broken relationship and feeling exhausted and basically like she's hungover, like she's got jet lag. She's moving on with it. Whereas the next one, that's called Devil in Her Heart, that I released, it has more of well, I call it an outlaw feel to it. It's got really sad tones because it has underlying tones of somebody controlling you and trying to get out from underneath their claws. So that one has a strong message in it. And that one's probably the hardest one for me to talk about. But it's so easy. I find another good thing about writing music is being able to hide behind that, even though I'm coming on the show and talking about it. It's like, okay, I can't actually talk to anybody about it, but I do actually put it in words and music. So that is very healing in itself. And then the next one I released was called Run Today. So it has more of a traditional country feel because I've always had a liking for artists such as Faith Hill and Dolly Parton, who do those huge power ballads, and they've got that real building crescendo coming into their chorus. So I wanted to write a song that would sort of mimic those characters, and so that's Run Today, and it's obviously about finding hope after leaving a relationship. And then we've got my recent release coming up. It's more of a country rock feel that I'll talk about. The one that's actually going to be coming soon, it's got a rockabilly feel to it. So everything on the EP has something different to offer, I feel. Yeah, so if people do want to have a look about information on the album, they can find it on my website, which is sandysummers.com. And yeah, get in contact with me if you want to hear anything more about it. But the producer, Simon Johnson, worked on that with me, and I had the wonderful backing vocals of Glenn Harrison. He's from Kalen's Rain, the band that everyone's familiar with over here. And I really feel like he added some depth to my tracks. So, yeah, I had done my own backing vocals as well, and you can hear those in there too. But I just feel like that man in there just gave it a little bit more flavour. And so the instrumentalists that worked on there, I spoke about them earlier and how they were inspiring. One of them is known as, his name is Liam Kennedy Clark, and he actually won a Golden Guitar Award in, actually I think it was 2, in Tamworth this year. So he worked the keys for me, the piano. So I had a wonderful time working with him, and just to see instrumentalists basically jumping out of their skin when they put music together, it's just such a awe-inspiring. I just it's so infectious. I want to go in and do another one of these very soon. So yeah, it's so much fun.
So let me ask you this. So when you get ready to go on stage, do you have any pre-event rituals that you go through to kind of get you ready for the big show?
Sort of. I feel like depend on how big the audience is. I do concentrate on my breathing. I tend to yawn a lot when I'm a little bit coming on stage and I'm a little bit anxious. I don't know if anybody else does that, but yeah. So I try to keep myself calm, and yeah, I just sort of like try not to think too much about what I'm going to do, because I felt that with my experience, the more I think about stuff and the more that I try to get it right, I tend to make mistakes then. So I think just go in fresh, and that's it as well. Preparing the days before, getting everything together so you know that everything's in place. You don't really have to think about, have I got this, have I got that? So yeah, just being organised as well. And also reaching out to everyone, letting know it's happening too.
So while you're on stage, how do you read a crowd?
Oh, yeah, wow. Okay. Well, firstly, on their age, really, I do pick my songs according to their age. I have found that doing the new releases, the young ones like those. So it's a bit like, yeah, if there's a mixed crowd, then I do a mixed lot of songs, the old and the new. And you'll find that eventually the young ones start to take to that. So I think, yeah, mainly just, I know that's, I don't mean that in a discriminatory way, but just sort of like observing their ages and then observing their reactions. Are they tapping their toes? Are they making eye contact? Those sorts of things. And there is a song, a John Denver song that I do. Oh geez, it's lost my mind.
Does it take me
Yeah,
home country roads?
no, it's one that I finish with, and why don't I know it? But anyway, it's not coming to me. I got me a fine wife, I got me a fiddle. Sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle. Thank God I'm a country boy.
There
So
you
I
go.
end with that one, but actually step out from behind the microphone and come out into the audience and dance with them, because I've got the Wi-Fi on my guitar, and we really get that. I actually get the pace of that going a little bit more, and it seems to get them going. There are a lot of songs, but the country road songs, that everybody sings along to that, no matter how old they are. But they like a little bit of Jackson Dean. They like, obviously, Luke Coombs and Morgan Whalen. So, yeah, and Lainey Wilson. So I throw a lot of those newer ones in, as well as, the older ones like the John Denvers. And I even do a bit of Dusty Springfield, also Linda Ronstadt. So as you know, because you've seen the playlist, and people can jump on and have a look at that on the website to see what sort of songs I like. And obviously I don't sing anything I don't like, but I do attempt a few man songs every now and again. So it's a bit weird singing them in the third person, but yeah, they go all right. People sing along with them. So
Yeah, I can't wait to go see one of your shows.
thanks so much. That's so good.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. You're an amazing artist, and you've had such an amazing career thus far. And
Thank you.
so when you're not doing music, do you have any hobbies?
Wow. I don't really get a lot of time for hobbies lately, but like I do like art. I was a little bit of a drawer before I was doing my music, and I did like getting into the gym scene as well. So it's been a while since I've been back there. I do like keeping active, but I have a job that keeps me active. So at the moment, I'm saving on gym fees with that. But I guess you could say I just like the outdoors. I love a good drive in a car. And I guess that's what my next song is about. It's a good driving song where you can just wind the window down and feel that breeze in your hair. I just love the highway. So long as no one's misbehaving on it and it's not too hectic, I love a good country road drive.
As we wind down our interview this evening, and thank you so much for your time. It's what a pleasure it's
Thank
been, to have you on the
you.
show. Is there
Thanks.
anything you'd like to share with us?
Oh wow, okay. Oh well, this with this shooting of this video that we've just done, we're still working on in the back scenes to finish that up. But obviously, I'd love for people to jump onto my YouTube channel. That's Sandy Summers Music. It's an official artist channel there because I do have music videos for my past releases, and I'd love people to take a look at those and subscribe to my channel. And I like them to subscribe to Music Dreams USA as well while they're at it, because I'll have more videos that'll be coming up as well. And don't forget, my music's available on most major streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, and YouTube Music as well. So yeah, you can reach out anytime. Just jump on the Facebook, Insta, or TikTok page to send me a message if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. And I just want to also say that I love USA. I love Utah. I love the people over there. I can't wait to get over there again in November. We're going over there. So I'm really excited to meet the people again. And who knows, I might be able to find a left-handed guitar over there and woo the crowd.
There you go. There you go. Well, if you stop by our studios, we'll make sure we get one for you.
Wow, that'd be so awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
I must get to the Niagara Falls area, isn't it? Where
that's
you
right.
are?
One of the seven wonders of the world.
Wow, absolutely. Oh, can't wait. That's on the next trip.
Yeah, we can't wait to meet you. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks so much.
Any final thoughts before we end our show this evening?
Oh, look, really just thanking you and thanking my supporters and listeners. I mean, like, they're the reason that I do this, hearing just the small little snippets of comments that I get every day. It's so rewarding. That's how music gives back to you. It's people reaching out and telling you how they feel. So don't be shy. If you know an artist that you're enjoying their music, reach out and tell them, especially if it relates to a particular story of yours, because that's what will keep us going and fill our heart. So yeah, let's just keep on countrying.
There you go. What do you think about country music of these days? Do you like it, or what are your
Absolutely.
thoughts?
Absolutely. I love it. It's just, yeah, infectious. How are they doing it so easily? I mean, wow, Lainey Wilson just taking the scene by fire. It's they're just, a lot of these artists are trailblazers. That's what they are. But you know, not to take it away from those of the past, they certainly are the same in their own rights. But it's amazing that music can still be developing like this. You'd think we would have exhausted it, you know, through the last couple of decades, but there just seems like so much more to come. It's just, where does this come from? It's incredible. So we certainly need to embrace it. And I love all the recent modern country music artists. And hi,
One
if
thing that
you're
really stopped
listening.
me about country music is a lot of your big time artists right now, like Beyonce and all those other. I mean, Beyonce is now switched gears, and now she's part of the country music scene.
Yeah,
And she just
absolutely.
released a song, Texas Hold'em. And you talk about
Very-
Beyonce, a huge pop star. But you're seeing like a lot of pop stars now leaving the pop star, the pop music scene, and then making their way over to the country music scene. What do you think
Mm.
about that?
I don't know. Do they find it more comfortable? Are the people more friendly on this side of the genre? I don't know. Maybe it's just easier. Like I said to you, that's when I picked up that guitar and the country genre just fell into my lap because I felt relaxed and comfortable. And I think that's it. It's just so relatable. People sing about what all of us go through. So I think, yeah, but why not? I mean, like Einstein said, if you don't try something, you've got to fail before you can actually. You've never tried. What am I trying to say? Einstein's famous quote where he says, "You've never failed if you've never tried." So it's like that. You've just got to try these things because failure can just put you on to the next level. Just get up there and have a go.
I love your attitude and your energy, and
Oh,
I can
thanks.
see you continue, just to keep on doing what you love to do. And speaking of that, here's another question for you. From when you first take yourself back to when you first started into the music industry to where you are right now today, as we're on this show. Is there maybe like one or two highlights that really stand out to you the most? What are they, and why are they so special to you?
Okay, right. Well, recently I got nominated for an award, finalist in the People's Choice Awards at Tamworth Country Music Festival. So I think that in itself was a huge shock to me because it just showed the volume of people that actually do follow me and believe in me. So I think that is a major thing. And although I didn't actually receive an award, the lovely Lily Grace took out that category. I was able to present an award on stage, and that was just incredible. I presented it for a bush balladeer over here, and yeah, so just to sort of like be welcomed into the country music industry, just to do that was wonderful as well. But I think the biggest highlight for me is probably it relates to who I am, without sort of getting too emotional about it. Being told that I was never good enough and then finding somebody that actually believes in me and supports me all the way. I think that's the biggest highlight for me with what I'm doing because I couldn't do this without my husband Ian. So his support is just wonderful, and that fills my heart. So
Ah,
that's why I am where I am today. All these other little bits, though, they're building up, so it's all wonderful. And I really hope that other people can try and do the same too. If you do feel down, find an instrument, take up some music, sing a song, get that window down in the car, take a nice little quiet drive, and yeah, try and find some happiness through music. It
uh,
will work.
well said, my friend. Well said. And
Thanks.
thank you so much for your time this evening. And it was an absolute pleasure to have you on our show. And we're gonna have you back. We're gonna so do like a
Well,
part two of this show.
oh, thank you. That would be awesome. It's our absolute pleasure to talk to you guys. Thank you so much. I'd
Well,
love to do that.
yes, we're definitely gonna have you back. And until the next time, my friend, be safe and continue to follow your dreams. And you got so
Thank
much
you.
energy, so much talent, and I get to see a lot of great things coming your way. No doubt about it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's lovely. And thank you to the listeners for tuning in and listening to Music Dreams USA.
All right. Again, as our friend Sandy Summers, what an amazing artist. And you heard during our interview, talked about a lot of different really cool things, right? And each and every Wednesday, the Music Dreams USA Radio Artist Spotlight Show is live on the air. We are brought to you by Blue Shamrock Music. And as you heard Sandy say during our interview, if you're an upcoming and aspiring artist, make sure you make your way over to Blue Shamrock Music. And Stephen Brady will be your contact, and he's an amazing guy. And he, like our station, we help to support upcoming and established artists. Until next week's show, it's your friend Russell K on Music Dreams USA Radio. And don't forget to join us tomorrow morning on the Russell K, Alexa, and Shauna Brown Morning Show. We're going to play a song from Sandy Summer, and that's going to help to kick off our morning show. We do that each and every Wednesday when we interview an artist. We pick one of their songs, we give them a shout out on the morning show, and we play that song in dedication of them in our way, saying thank you. Again, a special thank you goes out to Sandy for taking time out of her busy schedule special thank you to our sponsor, Blue Shamrock Music. It's your friend Russell K. Until next week, Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you then. Be safe, and thank you so much for listening and watching Music Dreams USA Radio. Good night, everyone.